Well, hello there, or moin as we say here in Hamburg, and welcome to Stitch-Ilonka. Yes, my name is Ilonka. It's spelled with an I but pronounced with an E. The yes was usually at a different place when I'm usually doing my introductions. Anyway, hi, welcome. Welcome. I'm happy to have you back. It's going to be an interesting episode today. If you're new here, welcome. I'm happy you found me. Sit back and relax and enjoy the ride. I'm not sure about the lighting situation today because we are, there should be a thunderstorm just about now, but the sun is still shining and it's slowly, coming around that how the house is here, so I'm not sure what the lighting will be, but anyway, we will just carry on and see where the road takes us. I've got an interesting episode for you today because I want to review my own Stitch North Germany, because I hosted a small tiny little stitching retreat here in Hamburg last weekend. And I have a few stitchings that I have to show you, and since I have reached 1,000 subscribers last time, I have prepared a little tiny giveaway for you, my international friends. Not just for you, but also, for the German friends and for the international friends. You know that I'm doing my videos in 2 languages, and I've just wrapped up the filming for the German community, and if you want to have the chance to win twice, then you can enter both, but make sure you use the right keywords. But we come to that later. Let me just first start with you. I guess we'll have let's just first address the horror in the room, and then we can just carry on from that. Because if you follow me on Facebook, on Instagram, you know what happened to me. It's not ironed yet because I want to experiment a bit more on this and try to erase the friction pen markers on this one. And that's why I didn't iron it, because I'm afraid that ironing will even more seal in the pen. So the story behind this one is, this was one of my very, very, very first kit stitching starts that I ever had back last year. And the fabric that came in the kit, I used the fabric that came in the kit. It's not a Zweigart one, it's a different brand, and it's not white, it's like a bit of a creamy white. So I don't know if it has been dyed or whatever. Anyway, so I used this pen, these friction pens, and so these are the ones with the felt tip, as opposed to these ones these are also available as a clicker. These have like the normal ball point tip. So I have used both of them on different projects over the first few months that I've been stitching, mostly though this one. And usually they have never stayed on more than a few weeks on my projects, because they were smaller projects. So this stayed on for almost 7 months, because it took me so long. I started stitching, and then I've, evolved, stitched other things, kitted up my own things and stuff. And it got a bit, left to the wayside, and I only finished it somewhere in the beginning of this year. So the ink stayed on this fabric quite a long time. Okay, I first ironed it, the ink disappeared, then I washed it by hand and framed it, and everything was fine. After a few months, now, like, I don't know, maybe 3 months, the ink came back. it was very faint actually that the ink came back. And so I thought, well, let me just put it into the washing machine in a like in a net, like protected, some kind of a case, and wash it softly at 30 degrees in a very, you know, sensitive program, whatever. Washed it 30 degrees, it came out, it faded a bit, it was okay. And then I washed it again at 30 degrees together with some other clothings, because I thought like if other clothes would squish up against it, then it would be, you know, moved a bit more. That didn't help. Then someone said, well, it says that it's washable up to 60 degrees Celsius. And I was like, okay, I have nothing to lose now. Let me try it at 60 degrees. When it was wet, it looked kind of decent. Like it faded away. Then someone said, put it in the sun for a while. It has been sitting in the sun for 2 days, and now the coloring is darker than ever before. So yeah, it's a lost project. I could bite my behind. On the other hand, this is a mistake that I made so that you don't have to make it, and I will definitely go on experimenting on this project to see what the floss can handle, because the floss is still perfect. The back stitching is also quite perfect. Nothing got distorted or anything. So the floss is still perfect. It's just that, you know, I couldn't even just, you know, fold it over and just frame it like that, because even through here it shines through. Oh, it's really horrible. Anyway, I will definitely go on experimenting on this one, trying different like spot cleaning with special detergents or whatever, and keep you updated. I hope this wasn't too triggering for you. So remember, this one was also one of my very first ones, and on this one I used this pen, and it stayed on for like, I don't know, 3 months. And with this one I don't have any problems, but this was Zweigart fabric, white fabric, non-dyed fabric, so I don't know if that's also the case or the problem. I don't know. Want to see it again? I hope you don't get nightmares now. Now on to some more happy things. I finished my Spells of the Moon by Blackbird Designs from their book Autumn Winds, and I love it. This is stitched on a 25 count Lugana, 25 count even weave, hand dyed by Esther, the Danish stitcher. By the way, you will hear this name, I don't know, 20 times throughout this video. I try to minimize it, but yeah. So I stitched this with, not with the called for colors, but with some different colors, and I love the stripiness of the moon. And I ran out of cast iron skillet, which the black one, which I used for the tree and the owl. And so I had to use a different black. This is by Miss Usedas. It's a black with a blue. I don't know if it's like officially available yet, or if this was just a trial run. And this is Blackboard. It's a bit more of a dark gray. Yeah, but I was thinking about leaving the windows open so that the pinkish spot behind there would seem like the sunset, and like the fabric shining through would mimic some kind of a sunset through the windows. But I am not sure, because if you look on the original, you can see that there are 3 dots of this color, like of the moon color, and I am not sure if I should just leave it like that, or if I should really just put the 3 stitches in. What do you think? I didn't stitch the border because I am thinking about finishing it in a round hoop. So, and because I ran out of thread, and because I was lazy. No, I really ran out of the cast iron skillet, and I didn't want to use more different blacks on this one. But yeah, I am, after all, I'm really happy on how it turned out. Yeah. Now on to some whips that I've been working on. I haven't been working on that many whips because I was so occupied with preparing for Stitch North. I like to call it Stitch North. Okay, so I have just been doing a bit of stitching on my Summer Quaker by Stitches Through the Years, which you've seen a few times. I did this one and the flowers and the little heart, and that one, I know that one was already there. But yeah, this is a very wonderful dark red crimson, it's called, by Weeks Dye Works. And this one is not that variegated as the others might be. And but I really like how it looks on this platinum 30 something count Zweigart linen. It looks rather dark right now through the camera lens, but yeah, it's really a wonderful burgundy deep red, and I can't wait to get back to it because every time I sit down and stitch on it, I'm like, yeah, this is so much fun. Quaker stitching is so much fun, guys, really. And speaking of Quakers, I have something in my hauls that I want to show you as well. So yeah, this is Stitches Through the Years, the Summer Quaker. And since it's the 4th of August, Jacob already came out with the latest part of his Stitch-Along. And we are now 2/3 of the way through. Is that, no, 3/4 of the, no. We are that far. I was never good at math. Anyway, this is the new part, a beautiful vase of some other type of flowers than these were, and I'm very happy about this because on the one hand side I really like symmetry, like with these two vases here that I have started. This is the June part that I have started, and since my color combination is red and gold, I was thinking about which bubbles I could make a stitch in gold. And I'm wondering if I should stitch this one with a different color combination, not a different color combination, but, you know, making other bubbles gold so that these two don't look the exact same. Because, you know, I used two different symbols here. I mean, one is with the grapes, but the other one is the alternative. And I also want to stitch these two in the two alternatives that Jacob provided. So I really don't want to have it like complete symmetry. So I'm really thinking about how I can kind of change the red and gold on this vase so that it really looks nice and crazy. And I can't wait to see what people come up with this one. Maybe another dragon Tony for this one here. Or maybe you have a nice idea for the sassy lion there. I'm just looking forward to seeing you, seeing what you do. And then I had a new start. So that's a nice segue to the Stitch North. I had a new start. I showed you this one last time. Amber Rogue Mama Stitcher gave this one to me. And you can still find this pattern on Etsy. It's by XStitchAN. And when I was holding this up, I was teasing. I was like, Esther, I still need I need a piece of fabric in a dark blue color. So if you would be so kind. And she didn't say anything, but when we met last week on Monday, when she and her boyfriend came over to Hamburg, we met in the lobby of the hotel. It was like online dating. You know, you've been dating and you've been talking for months and you got to know each other a bit and you've been sending pictures back and forth. And of course, you know how they look like and you've talked to each other already, but seeing each other face to face is just a completely different animal. And we were just, it was wonderful. We were just happy to see each other, and we both, of course, prepared gifts for each other, as you do. And we were both kind of, oh, you shouldn't have, oh, you shouldn't have. But yeah, and she gave me a wonderful piece of tealy green opalescent 18 count opalescent Ada. And I'm not sure, I mean, I look at my phone right now and I'm not sure how the color will really pick up, but yeah, you will see a few pictures over the course of the next few weeks. At first I thought that this would be my retreat stitching, like that I would only stitch on this pattern during the stitching retreats, because I have 2 more lined up later this year. But when I realized that it was Friday afternoon, like, I don't know, 6 o'clock, and I haven't made a single stitch because I was so, you know, busy talking and making sure everything is fine and walking around and everything. And I made the first 8 stitches and I had to rip 4 of them out because they were wrong. I was like, okay, if I should really, you know, use this as a retreat stitching, then I would probably never finish it. Where is the frogging tool? Because Esther was clever enough to give us all. I've been playing with the frogging tool all through filming the German one. Where is it now? Oh no, there it is. She gave us all a little spoolie, and this one is perfect to, you know, to rub out the excess little fibers that get stuck in between when you have to frog. So yeah, I already put that to good use during the retreat. And someone brought some needle minders, and of course there was a turquoise greenish sparkly paw, which matches this fabric perfectly and the theme perfectly, so it was absolutely perfect for this one. And I love the colors that come in this pattern, because there will be some other tangerine trees. The fox will be in more different shades of pink. These bushes are in red, and it's gonna look awesome once it's finished. Really, I'm very, very much looking forward to this. And because this is a combination of 2 of my Flosstube friends, it's even more special to me. But yeah, speaking of Stitch North, so actually this all came about because Esther said that she wanted to visit Hamburg with her partner, and I was like, okay, so if you are here and there are a few stitches here in Hamburg or close to Hamburg that I know of who would probably want to meet you too, let's just set up a stitch meeting on Friday, because they had to leave on Saturday morning. And so I was like, well, let's start on Friday. And we have these convenience store chain that has 2 luxury kind of flagship stores. That's what I was looking for. So one is in Hamburg, the Alster House, and one is in Berlin, the KDW. KDW. Anyway, so they both are more of the luxury flagships of this whole chain of convenience stores, and they usually have, all of them, they usually have some kind of a self-service restaurant at the top of the store, so that you can really spend some time there, and when you're hungry or when you have to go to the bathroom, then you can just spend a few minutes there, recharge, and then go on shopping. And so the Alster House, and I'm going to show a few pictures and videos while I'm talking. It's right smack dab in the middle of the city, where you have the most beautiful view of the huge lake and the big water fountain that comes out of there and everything. And we had wonderful sunshine, and the water fountain was, you know, producing rainbows all day. But no one was looking outside. They were all sitting there at the table stitching, and no one was looking outside. I mean, next time I could really, I don't know, we can meet in the cellar somewhere. As long as the lighting is good, everything should be fine, I guess. But yeah, nevertheless, it was this restaurant, or the area where you can sit down, is really big, and there was a huge table at the back of the restaurant, and I asked if we can just have it for the day. and they were fine with it, and so we could really spread out. And Esther also brought some books and some magazines, and one woman came directly from her office job, and she didn't have any stitching with her, and she was like, no, I didn't want to go home first, I wanted to come here and spend time with you. And so she was sitting there from, I don't know, 4 o'clock in the afternoon till 8 o'clock at night, just sitting there chatting, flipping through the magazines, through the books, talking about her own experiences with retreats that she's been to. Like, she's been to very serious retreats, like not just cross stitch and hey, what's the latest design, but really learning how to stitch, learning these old techniques, I don't know, like embroidery and tapestry, and I don't know, really, really amazing stuff that she's been telling me about. But yeah, the next day she came back and had some stitching with her. I don't know, like 2 or 3 projects. And all of the other girls, they also had a few projects with them, and also had some finished pieces with them. And we had like a little bragging table, and I was just going around, and because everyone was stitching, and I was just admiring the finished pieces, and was just holding them up and saying, look girls, look what she did. And they were all like, wow. It was like, I heard the strangest noises from these women. And someone was unpacking their silks, and it was, oh my god, I need to store. Just shortly, because before I was packing up on Saturday, I was showing off my colors of the Fire by Historische Stickmuster, and they have like these wonderful Overa Soie silks, and I was just, you know, showing it to them. They were like, oh, may I touch it? May I touch that silk? It's so soft. These girls are all just crazy, and I loved every minute of it. And they all brought some goodies. I got a little tiny little ornament, stitched ornament as a thank you for organizing this, and a little charm to put on my project bags with one of my favorite birds on it. And as I said, Esther brought some. Esther, if you have seen her latest videos, Esther, Danish stitcher, you probably know her. I've been mentioning her in every video. And she's lately been starting to not just dyeing fabrics, but also dyeing silks. Like, these are silks. They are soft as crazy. This one I call spaghetti ice cream, because that's how spaghetti ice cream looks. I cannot show you all of them, but yeah, neon colors, rainbow colors, and everything. And she just, you know, brought me a few samples of it, and I was just spoiled. And in the end, I was two of the women who were there. Actually, a few of them came from Berlin, and for most of you American viewers, for example, like, these distances are not far. But if you have to travel, like, or no, it's the same distance in Germany obviously as well, but our kind of willingness to travel is very different from what you probably experience in the US, because everything is so far away in the US. Like, really traveling from Hamburg to Berlin, which only takes like 2 hours by train, or 3 or 4 hours by car, is quite a distance. Like, it's really, you wouldn't necessarily do that on the same day if you don't have to. That might be completely different for you, I suppose, but still, like, people were coming from Berlin and from I don't know where, and they were like, yeah, I took some time off and I'm gonna visit some friends here and spend some time in Hamburg. And it was just, I was so humbled, and I was so blessed to have these women sitting around there, and I didn't realize that they actually kind of came from further away, that they had to travel a bit to come here and to sit with us and stitch with us. And it was just the most amazing thing. Oh yeah, and Bettina, who actually has been to Phoenix in the beginning of the year, and she met 911 Stacy, the 911 stitcher, who I've been watching for ages. and so she was at some kind of a retreat or a meetup there in Phoenix, and she was like, well, this is more or less like a normal stitching retreat in the US would be like, you know, like small gifts exchange, a bragging table. Two of the girls made a pattern specifically for the for this event, or also for the other meetings that we will have later on in the year. We had someone who dyes fabric and who sold fabric, and we had a raffle and a giveaway. Yeah, so everything was it was just like a proper stitching retreat, just on a smaller scale. We were 12 people. But the good thing is, like, if you are at a stitching retreat, I suppose, like, you're sitting at round tables with like 8 or 12 or 8 or 10 people. Like, yeah, you would get up and talk to someone else, but in the end, you are really only sitting at your table with these people. So it was more or less like it felt like a retreat to some people, and I was quite happy about that. And I will be going on doing that and organizing these things for the rest of the year, and hopefully even be able to organize a bigger one in Germany next year. Although I will be competing against Stitch North in Basel in September. I've talked about that already. I'm gonna link the video below again. Yeah, so that was my Stitch North. And because I am so absolutely grateful that I finally, you know, that I was able to do all this, and having 1,000 subscribers right now, and having really, I mean, you have to remember, the first time that I ever put a needle to fabric was to do a cross, like in cross stitch. It was at the 28th of July last year. So it's really just been 1 year that I've been stitching, and I'm at this point right now where I can do giveaways, international giveaways, where I have international friends and have meetings here in Germany, and it's just, I'm just so excited. And I want to celebrate that with you, and so I want to do a giveaway, and my dear friend Esther helped me to come up with the prizes. And so I will show you what you can win. Giveaway Ilonka, 1,000 subscribers. She dyed a beautiful piece of blue fabric. Oh yeah, it's a bit dark, but yeah. It's a watery blue. It looks a bit dark on my phone screen. I hope it's not that dark in real life. It's a light blue with a tiny little hint of lavender here and there. Looks wonderful. You know what would be great on this one? The nautical sampler that Star Parade did. I'm gonna link his Etsy shop below, because that would be the perfect, yeah. And you know what? I'm not just giving away this piece of fabric, but I'm also giving away the Michael's pattern for this one. I'm sorry, I just came up with this on the spot. I'm gonna insert a picture of what his pattern looks like. But yeah, but that would look awesome together. And it's got a very light sparkle. It's an opalescent 14 count Zweigart Aida. But I suppose it's not 14 count anymore because it was dyed, so it's a bit more of a 15 or a 16 count. Again, if you want to win this beautiful blue piece of fabric, piece of Aida, please use the word nautical, Nautical, nautical. And so, oh, and I'm going to ship anywhere in the world, because it's a flat thing, so I suppose the post will not be that complicated, I hope. And the next one is a wonderful color combination. This one, at first I thought it looked like a mushroom, like these, in Germany they are called champignons. What are they called in English? Button mushrooms. Okay. So yeah, this reminded me of a of a mushroom. It would lend itself wonderfully to a spooky kind of Halloween pattern, but I don't really know what kind of pattern. But I would probably put a few of Esther's hand-dyed silks in this package, just to even out the value, so to speak. So if you want to win this one, please say spooky, because mushroom is really hard to spell. So yeah, spooky if you want to win this one. As always, please don't use the words giveaway or anything in the comments, just use the words provided, so either nautical or spooky. And because I am in Germany, you can actually be 14 years of age or older to participate in this raffle. YouTube does not have to do anything with this raffle. This is just hosted by me. The winners will be picked by a random comment picker, and I will let you know and comment on your comment, and I will announce you in next video. So we'll start this giveaway today on the 4th of August, and it will run for 2 weeks until the 18th of August, because that is when I would probably film again, or at least if not that day, the next day after. And what else? I will only keep your information for the duration of the of the fulfillment of the giveaway. And yeah, of course I cannot say please be a subscriber. I mean, I can say please be a subscriber, but I cannot say like you have to be a subscriber to enter the giveaway, because that is not allowed. And if any other YouTuber says you have to be a subscriber to my channel, and you have to share, or you have to like, or to have to do this and that, and you have to be a subscriber of my channel, and you have to change your privacy settings so that I can actually check if you are a subscriber, that is not allowed with YouTube guidelines. Please don't ever do that. If you ever think about making your own rifle, you can say please be a subscriber, but you cannot make this mandatory, or checkable. I'm very happy to be able to make this giveaway, and I am just very much looking forward to the next 500 subscribers, if that's even possible, so that we can have another giveaway. So yeah, that was more or less all for the stitching. Now just a quick crochet update and a bit of haul. I finally finished, you might have seen it already, my loop shawl that was kind of a inspired by Expression Fiber Art's Shawl Free Spirit. That was at least that is the stitch that I used, but she made it just as a normal shawl, and I just closed it for as a loop. So these are just for a few triple crochets, and I did 7 rows in white and 3 in this middle blue and 3 in the darker blue, and it really looks great with any kind of t-shirt and with the blue jeans and with white shoes, and that's what I usually wear during summer. I haven't kind of stretched it yet, and it's still kind of floppy, but I don't mind it, because this is really supposed to be a summer shawl, and it doesn't really have to like stand up like that during, I don't know, 20 degrees or something. But I usually like to wear a scarf because it's just, I don't know, I just feel more clothed that way. The other shawl that I finished is the Jordana shawl, and it is done. Look at this beauty. This is this was a cake by Hobby. I think if maybe I can find the color number. The gradation is just perfect. I was able to do a few repeats and a full repeat at the end with the full 1000 meters, and then I tried to close out with a row of single crochet and these little picot stitches at you know, just to finish it up, give it a nice finishing touch. But then I realized when I was about here that my yarn was running out, and so on this side a few picots are missing, and I'm not kidding you, I just had this much of yarn left. So yeah, kind of a nerve-wracking experience, but yeah, after my experience with a mixer and some yarn what I told you about last time, this was really not that nerve-wracking. But yeah, I'm very, very happy. That's one of my, like, the first more complicated thing. Like, this shawl is just like just one stitch all the way around, and also the other blue one is just one stitch all the way around, and this was really a bit of a challenge, but I love it. And of course I also had to start a new one, and this one is called Halata. Halata is Finnish for embrace, and I will use this cake. That is really, is it dark blue outside or black? No, it's a dark blue, is it? Yeah, it's a dark blue. And this is the stitch, also like a 5-row repeat or something. I really like the evenness of a shawl like that, when it really looks that smooth. I don't know, if you repeat, like if you have a new pattern every few rows, then it of course it also looks very interesting. But to my eye, I mean, I have this pride shawl that is different stitches all the way through, but once this is finished and it looks so evenly, and just the variegation of the yarn will make the difference, that is something that's very appealing to me. But yeah, this is also one that I've just started, and maybe I will take this with me to Föhr. I'm gonna be on holiday next week for a week, and yeah, I hope that I will be, I don't know if I will be stitching or crocheting that much, because I booked an e-bike, and I want to do some kind of, you know, cycling on the island. We will see, but I'm going to take it with me anyway, because my father picks me up with his big car. So I mean, there's a lot of space. I could take a lot of things with me. So that was my crochet update. Speaking of haul, I don't know if you know Alba Stitcher. I probably think you know her. She is in Scotland, and she is just like in her latest video, she showed these Quakers from, I'm sorry about the crackling, from the Heart Needle Arts by Wendy. And I bought this one a few months actually back, because I just like the colors, and the little spot up here that says July would be perfect for me to stitch in Ilo, like my nickname. But then she said, well, there's a whole series, of course. I didn't know that this series was so current, that this is really, you know, the current, her current monthly Quaker thingy. And so I went online, had to get all the Quakers from January to September, and I talked to Wendy when she will be releasing October, November, December, because these were the 3 that are still missing. And she said that the October ones have just shipped, and she also just released a picture of the October Quaker on her Instagram. Gonna link it below. It looks so good. Oh, the thunderstorm is starting. I'm gonna wrap this up quickly. So yeah, because I wanted to, after I have finished the Summer Quaker, not the Summer and Autumn Quaker, like on my Stitches Through the Years thing, then I am actually free to start a new winter themed something. So I would need to start with November, I suppose. You know, I'm slowly working my way up there. This year I have had like a stitch along, or like just the seasons, like summer, winter, autumn and fall, autumn and what did I miss? You know what I mean, the 4 seasons. And now I will be having like monthly stitching, and then maybe next year weekly stitching. Like maybe I can do like 1 to 52, like the numbers. And then I can do the daily thing, like temperature trees or temperature bookshelf by Dr. Christie, for example. So yeah, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. At first I have to keep up with the stitch along that I already have. But yeah, I mean, I love them. They look awesome and they look so wonderful together. They're all the same size, and I'm really just now is the next question. Will I put them all on one piece of fabric, just as I have with the 4 seasons, or will I put them on different fabrics? Decisions. We will see. But yeah, these ones are in the mail on the way to me. And of course, speaking of Michal, I've told you about him earlier. He released just now released a new pattern. This one. And as if he did it for me. No, really, I love this one so much. It's just, yeah, enough said. It's something that can be hung in the kitchen or something, or in the living room, or in the, do you have like party cellar or basement? Like, did you have party rooms in your basement? Because that was a huge thing in the 70s and 80s. Like houses here in Germany had basements, and they had like wood paneling on the sides, and they would have a bar built in and everything. So that, like the man caves, the 70s man caves. But we didn't have like huge consoles for gaming or TV sets, but we had lots of beer and a kicker table, like a soccer table, like these small soccer table ones, and darts. What am I, anyway, that would have been the perfect that would have been the perfect pattern to hang in one of those things. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna link his Etsy shop below anyway. And I think that is it for this week's episode. As I said, the thunderstorm is starting right now, which I'm very happy about, because it was like 32 or 33 degrees, 38 degrees already here. I don't know how much. It was just very hot. And I'm happy that it's getting colder, and we're gonna have decent weather next week on the island, I hope, and I'm very much looking forward to my vacation. And don't forget to enter into the giveaway, and I will see you in 2 weeks. Have a wonderful time, and see you then. Bye bye.